Hello, hi. So my name's Anna. I manage the UKVI compliance team in the university. So this talk is for anyone who has a student visa. Yeah, so if you have that kind of visa, you're in the right place. Okay. Okay, so my team, what do we do? So it's our responsibility to make sure that all students who are at the university who are subject to immigration control in the UK are meeting UKVI requirements, but also hopefully making the best of your experience at Plymouth at the same time. We have to ensure that the university does what it's told in terms of UKVI, because we have a license to have students, to have international students and to be able to sponsor students. So we must make sure that we carry out all our responsibilities that UKVI tell us to do. We work really closely with the International Student Advice team. You might have already met them, possibly in the marquee, or you will do. And we're part of the student administration team in registry. So studying in the UK on a student visa means you do need to be aware of the requirements of the visa. So I'm just going to cover some key points. Don't worry if you think, oh, this is a lot of information. It's all on our webpage. You can see the link there, so you can read it afterwards. You can have a look. So don't sort of worry and think, I have to like memorize all this now. You don't. So I would suggest you just have a look at that webpage, maybe later on. Okay, so sorry, there's a lot of information here. So engagement and attendance, you might hear it called both. It's essentially the same thing. Now that we're sort of hopefully coming out of COVID, everything is back to face-to-face on campus, which is nice. And so you need to make sure you are attending. That is one of the major requirements of the visa. So what do you need to do? So you need to obviously enroll. Some of you may have done the right to study check. Once you've done that, you can enroll. And then when classes start after the 26th, you can start attending. Make sure you can access your timetable and you understand it, and also you're accessing your university email account. That's important because that is the main way that staff will communicate with you. So, you may need to respond to things. You will see the Plymouth app, which is used quite a lot now to register your attendance. So what happens is you have it on your phone, and in taught sessions, a little code will be given, and you put the code into the app and that registers your attendance. So when you start going to taught sessions, you'll probably find that academic staff will ask you to get the app. And also make sure you have your university card with you, and do replace it if you lose it. We do have to follow an escalation process if you're not attending. We don't want that to happen at all, and it is quite rare. And it may result in you being withdrawn, and we don't want that to happen at all. So, as I say, that's why attendance is really important. Everyone, there's problems that come along, that crop up. You'll maybe find that you're struggling a little bit. Please just speak to someone if you do find that you are. Don't just kind of stop attending. There's lots of support services around the university. There's the student hub. There's the ISA team I've already mentioned. There's people in your faculty. You should also have a personal tutor. Any of these people you can speak to. So that is really key, that you do kind of speak to someone if you're struggling. Okay, so your contact details, as part of enrolling, you'll see a screen where you put your contact details in. That's really important because it is, again, part of your visa requirements. So just make sure you've got your Plymouth address in there, your home address, mobile, and personal email. It is a little bit complicated to work out how to do it once you've enrolled and you need to go back and change something. So we've done like a little video. You can see the link there. So if you need to look at that to remind yourself how to do it, that should help you. And as I say, it is a requirement of your visa that we hold those details. So, if we're chasing you, that's why. No, that's maybe why we might be asking you to put your address in. So semester dates and working restrictions. I'm not going to say too much about this because I think the ISA team probably cover this. But have a look at the working restrictions that are on your visa. You should see them printed. If you have a BRP card, they'll be printed on the front. If you have a digital visa, it will be in the visa decision email that you got from UKVI. So just make sure you know what they are and what your term dates are. And not the same for everyone on every course. So you can check them. The link there's on the university webpage. You know, we really don't want you to sort of take employment that your visa doesn't allow. For example, being self-employed or work more hours than you should. So, you know, we really don't want you to take that risk. If you're on a postgraduate talk course, anyone here on a postgraduate talk course? Yeah, a few people good. So just bear in mind the dissertation period that you've got is not holiday for you, unfortunately. So it is still part of your semester. If you get like a part-time job and you need, you know, the employer says, can you confirm, you know, when's your holiday and when's your term time? The Student Hub can provide those letters. So just make sure you only use official letters that are supplied by the university. And the Student Hub are happy to do those letters. So if you need them, yeah. As I say, the ISA team are experts on the working restrictions. So if you have any queries, you can also speak to them. And I think there's also information on their web pages as well. So can you do a work placement? Yes, if it's part of your course. So basically, where it's an integral and assessed part of your course, your faculty or the placements team will be able to advise you if your program does have that option. Quite a lot of undergraduate programs do. If you do get a placement year, we'll give you more advice once you secure a placement. So we won't say too much about it now, but yes, it's possible as long as it's an integral and assessed part of the course. Again, we have to report to UKVI that you're doing that placement. So it's important you don't start before we do that. And internships are kind of the same, really. You can only do it if it's an assessed part of the course. And then it comes back to the sort of working restrictions. If anyone is on a performance type program, so like music, acting, anything like that, there are some visa restrictions on doing those performances, but you can speak to ISA if that applies to you. So your study location and your absence. So if you will be away for the university during the semester, so, you know, things happen, you might need to go home for some reason, or, you know, you have a period of illness or something, please just tell us. Our email address is there. You know, just drop us an email, ideally before you go, but, you know, as soon as you can. If you need to ask for absence, there's a form you can fill in. The link to it is, that's the link to the web page, but you'll find the form on the web page. So again, just tell us or tell your faculty about that. Sometimes we get calls from Border Force at Heathrow and other airports, and they might say, oh, we've got a student here who's coming back in during term time. Did you know they were at home? So, you know, that's why we say it's important for us to know, because then we can say, yeah, we did. We know about that. That's fine. Okay. So I'm sorry, I've said quite a lot of information to you in a short period of time. So don't feel you have to sort of, as I say, try and memorize it all. But a summary. So point 1, attendance is really important. Make sure you understand your timetable and you're recording your attendance using the Plymouth app. Tell us if you leave or, you know, go out of the UK or come back in. Obviously not in holiday periods, just we're talking, you know, in semester time. Please do the right to study check if you haven't already done it, and supply your contact details when you enroll. That's really important. Yeah, if we contact you or you get messages, emails from staff, just make sure you're, you know, checking your emails and responding. And yeah, if you need help with anything, please really just ask. Just drop us an email, drop the ISA team an email. As I'd mentioned, there's lots of sources of support. So yeah, just let us know. That's it, is it?
Lovely. So I think that brings
one more slide, I think. Just with
is it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just with our contact. Yeah, so it's just our contact details there. And that web link again, if you want to have a look later.